Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish, they're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hey there, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing tonight?
Wham, wham, wham. Blam.
Wham and blam. That sounds good. I like the sound of it. Everybody, good evening out there in internet land. My name is John Medic III. I'm creator and writer and editor and fun stuff of Sniper and Rook. Hopefully get the next issue out through Silverline Comics. Hopefully, maybe this year. That would be great. Martin, how about yourself? Who are you? And introduce yourself to the internet.
I'm one of your wonderful, effervescent co-hosts here on Wednesday Wham, and I color the wonderful book Wolf Hunter. I am still working on book 2, getting closer every single day. So 2 more pages should be going up hopefully tonight or tomorrow. I will be hammering those out. I got to try and get that out because Roland has been waiting for quite some time. I really got to get that out. And there's Sniper and Rook from John. I do wish I had. I don't know if I have a copy of your Twilight Grimm. I'm so sorry. But we also have the wonderful, venerable artist, Rob Davis, who does Twilight Grimm.
Yep.
And he's working.
Many other things. I've been working away on a page of Boston Bombers. Anybody who's been
Boston Bombers
for a while. That I'm bouncing between 2 projects, a secret project and Boston Bombers.
Can you show us a quick peek of the Boston Bombers page there?
It's really rough at this point. There's one panel.
Yeah, but we love seeing the rough stuff. You got to see the rough stuff. You okay? Wait. Keep it there. Keep it there. How do we show that to everybody?
Yeah. That top panel will get
solo
layout with the inks, but I'm starting to do the likeness stuff for the other panels. And you can see it's everything's kind of knocked in there.
You know what, Rob? I'm I'm gonna make your head the size of New York here.
Okay.
But
as long as it's not the size of Texas.
your like scenes where you have like a big open space, they're phenomenal. They're very, very, very well done. They capture the space that you're. Yeah. But
research, a light box, and photos.
Yes. So it always.
Here's.
There you go.
See, that's how I compose it.
Ah, there you go.
I figure out what I want, then I go on and Google search whatever I need.
But
this is AI,
But you pushed
AI
that.
Does.
Hold up your drawing again though. Hold up the drawing. Yeah.
Okay.
So comparatively
of course,
speaking,
I will do interpretation on
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Raise it up. Up. That bottom panel on the left.
Okay.
Or your right, whichever. Yeah. No. Yeah. There we go. That. Yeah. So you pushed the distance on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can feel that space. That's very cool.
That's
Nice.
The idea. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the idea, to make you feel like you're in a three-dimensional space. That's the trick of being an artist, is to trick your eye into thinking you're seeing into space, and it's just flat.
Yeah. Awesome.
But color does that, is another step in that process, which is a lot of what you do. And inking can do that as well. For those out there wanting to know a little tip, everything in the foreground has a heavier line around it. Midground is slightly lighter line, and the background has the lightest line in that panel. That helps it feel like it's going back into space. Tip of the night.
Yeah, hello to J3 and Madness Comic Network. Thanks for joining us. And if anyone else is there, join us for the fun. What is our topic tonight there, John?
So the topic tonight was an idea that came about the idea of gifts and getting a gift out of the blue, and something that you may want, something that you may not want, but oh my God, if you could pick your own gift and the person to give it to you. So the topic tonight, if you were gifted any character from one of the big two, and we might need to go into some bigger indies too, since there's only a few of us here, but the concept was you're getting gifted any character, one character of your choice from the big two, Marvel, DC, for you to rule forever. It is yours, not to interact with their books. You're given this character, do whatever you wish with it. Who will you choose to be gifted, and why? And what might your thoughts be that you'd want to do with that character if you were given it independently?
Got anything, Martin?
I do, but maybe I'll let someone else go first.
Oh, you go. John, you want to give us yours? Go ahead, give us yours.
I was kind of hoping
this
to
was
go
your
last.
baby. Let's hear it, man.
I was kind of hoping to go last because, as I've been
okay.
thinking. No. I'll go first. I don't care.
No. Okay. Well, I've got two right off the bat.
But
one from each.
See, that's so good, Martin, because
I've got three, but okay.
Good, because when I was thinking about this, topic about a month back, I was like, this is a great topic. I like this, and I had like several that popped into my head. And then as time was gone by, I'm like, you know what? I think the one I would choose is maybe none of them.
Oh,
but I would just pass on the gift, but for different reasons. So I was kind of have like the surprise anti-answer, so which I may get to, but I want to hear what Martin and Rob have.
Actually, I've actually bumped mine up to 3.
Good, because I
just thought of another one. So I actually have 4.
The 3 or 4 that I had.
So now, the intriguing thing is mine are probably all kind of in the same camp though. And I'm not exactly sure if what, but so the first character that popped into the head for this idea would be DC's Nightwing. So from the Chuck Dixon Scott McDaniel era, that version of the character. So I would grab him.
That's my favorite era.
So I would grab that guy and then run with him. And I mean, we could modernize him and do all sorts of interesting things. I think some of the stuff that they did later, which I never really got into, was some of the logical outflow of where he could have probably gone. But I didn't like the visual that they created for him. I was just like, that's not Nightwing. So, anyways, Nightwing would be my first pick. I would love to take him into some very interesting angles. In particular, as a contrast to Batman, like how he brings more of a hope to his approach. And I think that was one of the things that was instilled in the Chuck Dixon, Scott McDaniel run, was that there was this underlying hope in the character that was very different than Batman. The other character, which now is kind of in a similar vein, but more of a nihilistic approach, is Elektra. Elektra. I don't know what it is about that character, but that character like grabbed me when I read her, and there's something about her that I think after Frank Miller and Frank Miller and Bill Sienkiewicz did their Elektra Assassin and other things with, I don't think they've ever executed her properly. Scott McDaniel again did a book with D.G. Chichester, I think. The root of evil, root of all evil, something like that. It was, and it like that's a visual like smorgasbord for the eyes. Like he did all sorts of crazy fancy like panel layouts and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of design work. It's insane. Yeah. Since then, I don't think I've ever seen an Elektra book that I've liked, but that character,
Not even the Deodato years.
The which years?
Was it Deodato or Benes?
Nah.
I think it was Deodato.
I thought they made her into like the more of a pin-up thing, and that's not what she was. And I was like, no.
They made her 290s. Got it.
Yeah, no. So you have to play to the core of who and what she is, and she has a little bit of a mystical element to her, and you have to play that up. And if you don't, you kind of miss out on what she's about. Now the last character kind of still fits in the oeuvre, and maybe he's a hybrid between Nightwing and Elektra. And maybe this is why I like all these characters, because they're all kind of related in a way. Would be Huntress.
Yeah, I like that character.
There was something to the core of her that fascinates me as a character, and I thought she always got the short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who was writing her, no matter what, like just something just never grabs. But there's a core to the character that is so cool, and it just like it's like, come on, guys, just do something. So, anyways, that character I would love to take on an adventure if I could. Because I think she could be like, her costumes have always been like, one of her costumes was kind of cool, and then they like updated it and it was like super weird, and you're just like, how does this even work? So I think she can have a costume update that makes her look really cool, and then like just make her actually work as the character that she's supposed to be. But that's me. So those are my top three off the top of my head. There's probably a couple other ones that are going to pop up in a bit, but yeah, if I was gifted, I would take those.
All right, Martin, thank you. You picked some great folks there. There's a couple of them that could possibly land on my short list too. Nightwing, that run that you were talking about, I absolutely love that run as well. Fantastic. Probably my favorite issue was the brotherly issue between Nightwing and Tim when they were running along the trains.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be a great time period to pick from. Very cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Rob, how about yourself?
Well, I've got three, and The first one, and these aren't related. The second two are kind of, but the first one is the Demon from DC, and I would like to take him in a little bit different. I haven't been following the last couple of iterations of him, and I think it's been a while since they've done anything with him. But I'd like to see him has storytelling similar to Sandman. Do that kind of, bring that kind of feeling to the book, and make it more supernatural, and take it in some really modern directions. If I could hand it off to Neil Gaiman to write, because I think he would do great things with it. I'd love to draw a book like that. But I would like to give that would be a good, if someone's going to give me a character, that's the first one. And like I said, I'd like to take it in a real supernatural direction, which I'm not sure it's been done with him before, like Sandman. But the second one is Captain America, because I love the character, and I'd have a ball playing with him, especially if I could set him in today's politics and see how he would react to all that. I don't know what their present book is doing. I've got copies of it, but I haven't read it. I think it's Straczynski. Is Straczynski writing it right now? I'm thinking he is. Yeah, I'm thinking he is right now. I've got the first couple of issues ordered, and may even have the first one in my pile of books to read. I just like to pitch him in the present polarized political situation that the country is in, and delve into that. And the third one is Iron Man, and I'd kind of like to take him back to his roots. I think they've make him probably more like the Robert Downey Jr. Take him more back to his roots and tell stories like that around the era when Bob Layton was working on him, right around then, and tell those kinds of stories again. That's probably treading in water that's been muddied up enough already. But I would love to work on Iron Man. And then the last one is Grimjack from First Comics. I've always liked that character, and I'd like to play in that playground. And if I could get the creator John Ostrander to write it, write some more modern storytelling styles stuff, that would be a lot of fun as well. But that's my 4.
Very cool. So we got Demon, Captain America, Iron Man, and Grimjack.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not really related at all, any of them. Except, Captain America, Iron Man, they were in the Avengers. But
all right, so I just put a note in comments about who's got what so far. Martin's choices, Rob's choices. This way we could capture this and look back. Who said what and when and where. So you guys had some great stuff there. I really kind of liked the idea of, current day politics, Rob.
Yes.
Because I could think of some fantastic stories that could be done with that.
Yes.
Because I see, as we talked, politics before, we need to have balance. There needs to be balance with everything. And I think that's why the world's out of whack right now. Because
I think Koepp would do it. Would do it.
And that's exactly it, because I see both sides. If this was the MCU, if we lived in that world, and that world was us, I could see people both claiming Koepp. Koepp
easily.
Is conservative. In many ways, the conservatives would say that is America. That's World War II. That's the greatest generation. But the left would go, but he's progressive. And he's not always mired with the past. And he's been willing to step away from other things because of his morals. So Koepp is so unique with the whole politic part that both sides could claim him. What you said was perfect, Rob. That he could be maybe the one that would unite the factions.
Well, he'd be a good device to dive into those subjects in a way that I don't think any other character could. And I think needs to be done. And we need to dive into those, because all we're seeing right now is the fight. We're the fight. Let's dive into what each of those factions is about, what they really, what their true deep ideology is all about, and let's jump into that and see what's going on there. Yeah, I think that would be an interesting book.
Very cool. I like it. Martin, any thoughts on Rob's?
No, I think those are good picks. So
that was the answer, that you weren't really listening to Rob's.
No, I was listening.
He was paying attention.
I was surprised by Grimjack, because Grimjack kind of popped out of nowhere. It's not DC or Marvel,
well,
so
Demon and Grimjack are kind of out of left field. They're characters off the main.
I'm just doing some research for more characters to pick.
So, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm on like a weird time schedule right tonight. It's like W time. It's not like quite right, if you know what I mean. It's like, wow, we've only been talking about this for 20 minutes. We will have to open this up to independent characters too. Grimjack was a great. We could get off track too. So and we often do, which is fantastic. So let me kind of go along, if you don't mind. I'll take the next spot about.
You're allowed.
Why did I think I'd maybe just step away and say thanks, but no thanks? I think it came down to very few characters there are very few characters that could exist on their own. So if I have Iron Man, what is the core of Iron Man that makes Iron Man a unique character without the backstory of the Avengers or the reliance of being able to pull in the Avengers? It's like, who are these characters that are so iconic at their core that, it's like those would be the ones that we'd have to go for, because, then we can make the stories around those cores. But that kind of gave me the brain bounce to, that takes it back to archetypes, right? So other than the marketing branding on it, why would I need to take Superman if it's just this archetype? I could build my own completely from ground, because that's what I'd be doing anyway. What's the shield really mean? So I was like, so now I'm thinking to myself, I'm overthinking all of this. So
you never do
that. I know, right? So you guys were going for the 3, and you got to remember, I just came out of like working out of school for like 8 to 12 hours, so I'm already like hyped up and the adrenaline's running. I think I'll go with. Let's go with 3, and then I might add in the 4th. And one of them, I know Rob. I'm a America fan as well. And we've talked, at length on the show about my love about that run, Captain America, when Captain America, where people would say that is definitely what somebody on the left would do. The government says you need to work for us. And he's like, no, I'll work for what's right and not what somebody else tells me is right, and gives up the identity. I loved that run with Super Patriot. The hothead, bratty, up-and-comer.
That investigated the politics of that time.
Yes.
Which is what kind of inspired me to maybe we need to bring him into modern day politics.
And see, that's where on my list, the first thing I had was U.S. Agent. So Super Patriot, who challenged Cap, who became Cap, who said later on, there is no Cap but you, Steve. All right. I'll sully it. Everybody else will study it. You are Cap. I was like, I think I would love to do something with U.S. Agent. U.S. Agent, previously called Super Patriot. So, it's the same character. I'll steal 2 uniforms. I remember the other one I wanted. Got it. right. And I think the nice thing that I could do with the U.S. agent, I could take it and take him as in any, like our universe without any backstory. We have somebody who wants to be the America's hero. He has in his heart the goal to be the hero. And he's not a bad guy. Stupid a little at times, a little impetuous at times, but loves America. Loves America for most of the same reasons that Rogers does. So with those ideas, I'd love to be able to have somebody who wants to be a hero and America's icon, but can't quite get it right because he doesn't quite speak right, articulately or with an accent from the South, which, both would have applied to John Walker. It's like you have this guy who wants to get it right. And it's like he's 80% there, but he's pushing for that 20 to do right by everybody. Best intentions. Would the world today even be able to handle somebody like that?
You could investigate some of the same themes that I was talking about with Cap by doing that. Yeah. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I think those things alone would make, John Walker, U.S. Agent, Super Patriot, a unique enough character at the core worthy of more exploration. So that would be one I would accept as a gift. Another one that I would accept as a gift, absolutely. And this one is a legit one. I didn't even have to outthink myself on it because I just steal them for the visual. There have been many derivatives, and there have been some that have come before this gentleman. I want Guardian. Canada. Martin, I want your hero. That's what this is all about. We're Rob.
Guardian?
I want Guardian. Rob.
Rob.
Did Twilight Grim get you? Your screen went dark.
Yeah, I was just checking something. If somebody popped up, somebody sent a message, and I was reading it.
Yeah. Guardian. So Guardian is Guardian DC?
No. Guardian's Marvel.
Okay.
Flight,
Alpha Flight. Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, Guardian. No. The character is Guardian.
Okay.
The Canadian guy. Hey, so that's what it's all about.
That one. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. With the
so there have been, obviously you can tell that I love characters that care about their countries or tied to their countries. And I'm going to go somewhere else ironic after that next one. I love that uniform. His uniform is probably one of the most perfect comic uniforms I've ever seen. The taking of the Canadian flag, how it's applied. Marvel's Union Jack had always had a wonderful look integrating the Union Jack. But Guardian takes the Canadian flag one level higher. You look at this character is heroic. You don't know anything about him on the inside from me because I haven't read much of him, but just the visual alone would make it for me going, this is the perfect visual to create the perfect Canadian hero, or hero who hails from Canada. Canada. I guess. I'm tired. It's been a long day. So I could do anything with it because it's an empty vessel, because I'm just using it and taking it and accepting it for the visual alone. So, I'd have to have all the backstory with his connection to Wolverine and all the government stuff. So it's like just the character. That'd be great for that.
And then he goes and protects the trees in the north.
He can protect everything.
Protects everything, eh?
He could, and just because somebody hails from a country doesn't mean that they have to be bound to that country either. So, true. Just because, and that's something I'd want to explore, if you're a Canadian superhero, poster child, literally, like, does that mean you always have to hang out there, or like?
Yeah. Well. So then the adventures of him going around the world would be him being constantly mobbed by people saying, "Oh, thank you so much. How are you? You're Canadian. Oh, we love you."
And we had Richards Comley. He had Captain Canuck prior. That was a very nice comic uniform based upon the flag. But yeah, Guardian takes that. I was mentioning, obviously, I like the government and the hero coming from the government. One of the other ones I was thinking that, okay, if they want to gift it to me, I could deal with this as like its own, pseudo archetype of Flag Smasher. Flag Smasher, Marvel Comics. Again, my Captain America favorite run, where and just prior to it, you had a gentleman who looks very Space Ghost. Okay, so the red cowl or the black cowl, red eyes, belt is, it's a globe, and he goes up against Rogers, and his thing is he wants all country lines erased. He's
No borders.
He winds up getting written more as a terrorist later, but he doesn't really want to be a terrorist. And people are like, oh, you communist. He's like, no, I'm not a communist. I'm against that too. He believes that these dividing lines keep people apart, that we are one people, and that, break down these countries so we become one. Flag Smasher. Now, anybody who had watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, they did an adaptation of that run of Cap that I love so much. Flag Smasher became that bad group, Flag Smashers. Carl was Flag Smasher in the comic. Carly was the leader of a group in the MCU TV series. So there's some differences there. So like the one that
an alternate universe version of your story.
Yeah. And they kind of like took different things and like mashed it together. But the Flag Smasher I would want is at the core, what he was originally presented as, even though it was as a villain as well, because he did, do some terroristic things. Somebody who just genuinely finds a way to start working through to break down all of these divisions. How do we ever become one? Like we talked before, and if we have an alien invasion, that might be the only thing that actually brings us together as a people.
Yeah, kind of like Ozymandias doing the alien invasion and Watchmen.
There you go.
Yeah.
But even if that happens, we're not all going to pull together. And if we beat the aliens, we'll be back to fighting each other again within 15 minutes. Humans are just failed creatures. So knowing that, how would somebody behave? What would they do to try to be the one to instigate this change, to take down these boundaries? That means mending fences, or not mending them, but resolving. I mean, there's so many different aspects that this goes to, and then it goes into the political, and I'd have fun with that on all sides too. But in the comic, he was branded the villain and he's like, no, he's like, I hate Captain America because he's the symbol of the country and the flag, and all those need to be destroyed to be one.
No flags, no borders, no countries.
Exactly.
No.
We are Terrans. Yeah. We are, humans. We're whatever we wind up.
He was a dreamer.
Yes. And so what could somebody do? How would somebody approach it? Would it be like a David Koresh type, but a noble one? How would somebody lead? And if you have a group that's going to follow you because they believe in your cause, how do you know that they all have the best intentions? It's just the political and introspective drama I could have with that.
That's some of the same, again, some more of those same themes. Yeah,
I think we do have a lot of that. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The next one I will go with is Ben Reilly, the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, the Spider-Man.
Yeah, you've talked about him before. Yeah.
Yes,
you really like you think he's the real Spider-Man, don't you?
I know he's not, but I thought it was such a wimp out for them to not make the change, because they were talking about making the change. It was really supposed to be a change. Editorially, it was going to be a change, but then it got dragged out.
Corporate probably came down and said, "Nah, I
So-
can't do that."
So hang on. So no, Ben Reilly was Ben Reilly created just for that story arc,
So
or did he exist before in some, or did he exist before?
He's the clone.
I know he's the clone, but
Amazing Spider-Man 149. So we're talking back in the 70s.
okay.
Warren the Jackal, college professor where Spidey and Gwen were going. He created a clone of Spider-Man.
Okay.
And he made the clone in this real Spider-Man fight.
Okay.
And so they fight. It's in like this warehouse type thing, and there's steam pipes and stuff. And the two of them fight, and one dies.
Okay.
Okay, not murdered, but dies,
Right.
Yeah.
through accident. And so, Spider-Man picks up the clone's body and says, it's my wish to be cremated. So I guess it would be yours as well, brother. And drops the body down a smokestack to go into a furnace.
I think that's Ross Andrews' run on.
I think it might have been.
I remember right.
And so that was the entirety of the
I know
story.
he drew the Jackal.
Okay.
Well, the end of the issue, Peter is now walking back home. And he's like, wait a minute. How do I know I'm not the clone? Uh-oh. Shit. And then he gets to his apartment and he sees Mary Jane. And his feelings for Mary Jane are so strong, he knows that he has to be the real Peter, because only real people would have that level of feelings. That was the story in the 70s. Fast forward to the 90s, Martin, short version. Aunt May's dying for like the 69th time.
Yeah.
So the clone who didn't die in the smokestack heard about it, comes back to say his goodbyes to Aunt May. And hilarity ensues for 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
That's
So,
the concept behind it.
but how? Okay, so the clone. How would the clone even have any notion of May?
Memory implant.
Oh, okay, I see. Interesting.
So-
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah, both Spider-Mans believed they were the real Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and they
All right.
never
So not
revealed-
now, was he named Ben Reilly in the original 149, or did he have a
that
name?
issue was nope. It's just, hey, I'm the Jackal, and this is my Spider-Man, and you're the other Spider-Man. Now you two fight.
Okay.
and
Okay.
You don't know which one died.
All right. So
Quote-unquote,
here's
they were both,
And nobody
quote-unquote,
cared because it was a one-off story. It wasn't supposed to ever mean what's that?
happy birthday.
Rob's birthday?
We just get
I
random.
I did this, and then the balloons popped up.
Oh,
I thought
dude.
maybe has somebody pushed a button? No.
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
But so
My birthday's not for several months yet.
Martin, in that one story, it was a one-off. It's like just how they do like a one-off story and then on to the next. No big deal. It was not supposed to have any lasting repercussions.
Hey,
Okay.
Greg.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Greg,
so
hey, Greg.
So I'm just gonna to touch on your Ben Reilly thing here for half a second. My issue is Ben Reilly as a name is just blah. Like there's nothing to catch you. Like, so if he had a cooler name, so Peter Parker makes sense. It's like, you can grab onto that name.
It's
Ben
alliterative. It's alliterative. It's easy
So,
to
like,
remember.
So
Yeah.
if you're
Well,
gonna
that's the whole point.
replace Spider-Man and you gotta replace him with a cooler name,
I'm
and you
taking
gotta
it-
make
so
the character better than Peter.
They've
gotta make
changed him so many times. So now he's some bad guy, Schism or Chasm or
I have no
something.
idea.
He's been killed and reanimated so many times. He thought he was the real one. He wasn't the real one. He lost out on years of his life. Kind of wandered the country. He sees Peter kind of having a life. He's like, that could have been mine, but he didn't want to cause problems. That's why he left. I like the idea. Again, I'm obviously liking flawed characters. So Ben, I take him as his Scarlet Spider uniform, and that's where I would use him to begin with, at least, as somebody who knows he has a connection to this shared past, but has to forge his own future. And we all know future us is based upon the us who we are today at this moment. And so who we are now this moment is very much based on who I was a moment ago, which made sense why Scarlet Spider would keep the spider theme, even though he's not Spider-Man anymore. But he's coming into his own, not as Spider-Man, but as Scarlet Spider, and then find his own hero journey there. How do you come to terms that you're a human being like everybody else, but not like everybody else? Yes, he was. David Rios. He was in the Spider-Verse movie. I was so excited to see him there. They played him kind of a bit of a goof and not quite as intelligent. Very U.S. agent-esque, come to think about it. But yeah, he was hilarious in there. I loved him in there.
All right, so we've got here Greg Harms here says he would take Conan as one of his characters if he was gifted a character.
Greg, I would love to see a sketch of yours of like your take on Conan. That would be very, very cool. So his massive pectorals, yes, they would be massive. All right. So Ben Reilly, I think we kind of talked about, taking back to that core of I know who I was, although that's really not me anymore. And where am I going now? How do I forge my own way?
See, now for him, if I was to take Ben Reilly, or I would change his name. This just drives me nuts. But as Scarlet Spider, Scarlet
Spider's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, and I would take his costume. This is the thing that would be really cool, and make it like a deep red that fades into black.
Okay.
Right.
So like Daredevil's costume.
Yeah,
you're talking like transitional colors.
It would be a gradient. It would be a gradient. And so his costume, and then you would make him kind of like this like guy who could blend in the night and come in and out of shadows and stuff like that, and just totally, and make him a little bit more creepy.
Yeah.
Just kind of like so in a sense you could be like Spider 2099, but like red.
I liked Spidey 2099. That was a great book. That was a great character.
Never read any of those.
That's actually Miguel is like my kid's favorite Marvel character. Well, up till now when he's been watching X-Men 97. So there might be some changes there too. All right, so let me go
David, whose costume?
What's that?
Whose costume? David Rios. He said his costume. Whose costume? Who are you talking about there, David?
Scarlet Spider.
Are you talking Scarlet Spider or is Spider-Man 2099? Or someone else completely? We'll have to wait on that for a minute. And
all
David,
right, so as we have the Jeopardy theme was hosted by Alex.
I was just going to ask.
Alex from where, Martin?
Canada, Ottawa, actually, I believe.
It's all about Canada.
Yeah. Well, poor fella, pancreatic cancer.
Oh yeah, it was a shame. And he was such a classy person till the end. He was,
so David Rios would take Chasm.
Oh, Chasm. Okay, so that is the name of what Ben Reilly is going by now, and now he's kind of like really off his rocker. So yeah, I would kind of break it down into where it should have started and gone from there. We should also shout out for Silverline alum Stephen Butler. One of the guys on the original books here. He did some of the definitive art for Scarlet Spider back in the day, and Stephen knows I love his work, and so I just wanted to note that there. All right, so the last one I'm going to take, Shatterstar. So
Shatterstar,
Marvel X-Force, created by Rob Liefeld, launched in the final issues of New Mutants. Fantastic character. he's had some storylines that were absolutely great. He's had some storylines where they've changed the core of the character. Then they tried to retroactive that. I would do a completely different kind of reboot of Shatterstar again if I was gifted the character. The visual is awesome. Rob's visuals are usually awesome. The stuff's good. So the visual of Shatterstar in a Tron-esque kind of world. So, Shatterstar, if you don't know him, he comes from Mojo World, just like Longshot. He's the kid of Longshot and Dazzler from X-Men. So, in Mojo World, where everything's televised and everything is a show and everything is a game or a competition, if you have somebody who is kind of like the number one MVP of like the show of all time, basically living his life through a show in a very Tron-esque kind of way, only to find out that there is more than outside the show. I guess a little bit with Truman Show thrown in there from what I've heard. I've not watched
okay.
Show,
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit of that.
You
of
should
like
watch it. It's a good movie.
There's something else out there too, but yeah, I kind of really want that Tron universe around the character, and I think that his visuals would integrate beautifully into that.
That's very interesting.
Thank you.
I'm trying to wrap my head around Shatterstar and Tron. I'm looking at some of the visuals here, and it's like, okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, and I think I can get there.
Okay.
I think his costume would definitely need to have an adjustment to get there.
Mm-hmm.
To be more Tron-esque, yes, absolutely. I'm going to put a.
I'm just trying to see how to get there. So yeah. Okay, interesting. I'm
going to throw a link into our chat here. If anybody sees me logged in as J3, I'm gonna throw that one in there, and then that's a link to a picture from. It says anyway. Anybody who wants to do a search for New Mutants pinup Shatterstar, it's Shatterstar's actual first appearance in hey, this could be the future of the team. The long, slender visual is the iconic Shatterstar to me.
So Mickey wants to do Booster Gold.
Yeah,
that's an interesting choice. That's an interesting choice.
This fascinates the snot out of me. Okay, so Mickey, this is a very interesting pick. So
yeah.
I don't know what it is. That character for me has never done a thing for me. I don't know, but there's people who love him. They just love this character.
Yeah, you
my boys
love or hate him. Yeah.
So my boys go through this book, all right, and my oldest boy, the character that he likes, Booster Gold. I don't know why, but there's just something about that character that people glom onto, and it's like, okay, interesting.
I like the concept of the character, a guy out of time. He's the reverse of Captain America. He's a guy from the future that doesn't know how to deal with modern day any more than Captain America did. So I like that whole concept. I don't know that was played up as much as it probably could have been and should have been, but it's a great concept for a character. I appreciated him the most for his interactions with the other Justice League characters, because I like the interplay he had with some of them, especially
like
Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle, yeah,
Blue Beetle mostly.
And it's interesting because you had mentioned about like the futuristic part, coming back and having to deal with like, oh my God, really? Kind of like Scotty when Star Trek movie when they went back to get the whales, and they're like, no, like all that. No, you need to use the mouse. He's like, oh yeah, mouse. He's like, computer. It's like, no, it's not a walkie-talkie. I always forget.
Computer.
I always forget that Booster Gold was from the future. So, I've not been exposed enough times or in ways to really count
Yeah,
remember, hey,
Dan
that's where he
Jurgens.
comes
He's
from.
a Dan Jurgens creation.
You know, I know the
and
visual.
Dan is really
I love the
steeped
visual.
in DC lore and Legionnaire. The guy's from the era of the Legionnaires. He wasn't quite
Man Out
he
of
wasn't
Time.
powered enough to be a Legionnaire, so he goes back in time to become a hero, and then he's kind of messes it up. So he would probably be a character. You like those kinds of characters. So
I was just saying, yeah, that's kind of like what we were just
that aspect of him. I think you'd have
I'll
a
check that out.
blast working
Very
with
cool.
him. Yeah,
Very
delve
cool.
into him a little more. I don't think enough has been made of that aspect of him. But yeah,
and I would definitely. Oh my God! I mean, even folks right now. I mean, I was making a joke today when I was talking to somebody. They want my email address. I gave them my AOL, and they said at AOL. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm like one of 6 left. Even if we had to go back today and use computers and browser technologies and download times and dial-ups from '96,
would drive us nuts.
Yes, it would.
Nuts.
Yes, it would.
We can't wait. I can't wait.
It drove
10
some
seconds
people
for something to pop up. Back then, it would be minutes.
It'll be like, what do you mean I can't check my email when I'm pooping at the same time? It's not like cell phones these days.
Yeah.
I heard.
And speaking of which, we just glitched out.
So we lost everything?
No.
No,
It just
we're
glitched for half a second.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Because I saw that Greg
So,
was
Greg-
there. I didn't want to like not hear Greg sing Swamp Thing. That he said that would be another one. Swamp Thing has some great visuals. I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
I think
So,
all the interesting things about him that I would want to investigate have already pretty much been delved into by Alan Moore. He kind of took it in. I wouldn't want to touch that character after he was finished with him, because he's already kind of delved into all the areas of interest with that character that I would find. So that one doesn't interest me at all. I love the character. I loved reading those Alan Moore written books about him, but now Swamp Thing is off my list. He's not on my not even on my long list of characters to play with. Anything else, John? You said you had another one.
No, I think that ran me out because I went down my list. So Ben Reilly,
close to the hour too for that.
Yeah, I looked at the clock. I was like, oh, 52 minutes. Yeah, my Ben Reilly, my U.S. agent, super patriot, John Walker, and I don't know if I mentioned when we talked about this. Probably did, when he took on the different identity and he went from Captain America to U.S. agent. The government changed his name from John Walker to Jack Daniels, because that's how you go undercover. I couldn't believe they did that.
John Walker,
Johnny
Walker,
Jack Daniels,
and then he became Jack Daniels. Yes, and so
they had no imagination with that.
Or they had
none whatsoever.
or their tongue was so firmly planted in the cheek it was
yes.
Yeah.
That's some Monty Python level stuff there.
So
Guardian and Shatterstar rounded out the other.
Yeah. So let's do rapid fire here. So Rob did Grimjack, which is
lightning round. Yeah.
Lightning round for books outside of the Marvel and DC universe. What would you grab?
Grendel.
Or what? Grendel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be an interesting one. Yep.
So for me, I would love to grab Wildcats from Image, and here's why. I think the original series showed a lot of promise, and then they did something weird when it went to DC, and the original underpinnings got lost. So the original underpinnings I think could have exhibited a very, very interesting world. So I would have loved to grab, and in particular, Zealot would have been the character of choice from there that I would have loved to have played with. So so Wildcats for me if I was to grab a book outside of the. But then, what about Silverline? What would you grab from Silverline if you were to grab something from Silverline?
At this point, Silver Storm.
That's not your own book. So okay.
Okay, so
Rob,
so I worked on it. That was a short Christmas one, though. I'm playing with something that includes all the characters, but if there was one book that I'd want to grab from like the Silverline library, because we've got it in trade paperback, probably Silverstorm. Or are you talking about the things that we're publishing these days, like what I want to steal?
No. Well, anything in the Silverline back catalog that would grab your attention that you would want to.
So not just the Silverline main but all of our. Ooh. Brett's done some really great stuff with Kayla's.
Yeah.
That could be fun to take and run with.
Yeah,
like if I were to be past that for me, I would be honored, and I could run with that.
I would grab cat and mouse. So yeah,
I would grab cat or mouse and take them out of their regular.
Do a solo series for one of them.
Yeah, just take them out of their normal element and see how they would react. Try and figure out how they might react in something that's. They don't have the other partner, but they're in.
That was a thought I had as well.
That in a totally different environment, and how would they deal with that? How would they do that? So it would be an exploration of character of that particular character. One or the other. It wouldn't matter which one.
I've always said,
in fact, do a book where they are separated and they have to deal with two different issues on their own. So, I mean, I don't know if I haven't read many of the cat and mouse stories, but what little I've seen, I don't know whether Roland has done anything like that or not. But that would be an interesting idea to explore, is separating them and having them deal with individual problems completely without the other one's help.
So Mary Lee Wallace is asking, how would one get a chance to present a totally new storyline at Silverline? Mary Lee, I don't think that's a possibility at this time.
At the moment, it's. I mean, you could pitch something, but you're gonna have to really kick some booty with it in order to get it passed. But
so probably the way to do that would probably be do a very, very short write-up of your idea, what it is, and go to log into the Silverline website.
Synopsis of the characters and or their milieu, and
I would do a one pager, very brief, like very, very brief, and just
then maybe if to show your writing abilities, maybe write a page or two of just script for the first storyline or something like that, just so you can demonstrate how you would write it. But you can put it together and maybe send it to Roland. But now he's not looking for anything more than what we're already dealing with. I don't want to discourage you from creating something. Just that this is not something that I think Silverline's doing at the moment.
So here's the way I would look at that. And so go to Silverline, find the email, send it to Roland, or to the Silverline address. If you never ask, you never get.
Right.
So
nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah.
Exactly. But keep it short, succinct, sweet, to the point. Make it as exciting and bombastic as you possibly can.
Yeah,
and
Roland is one busy cat.
So and if you can present it in a way that you can say make his life as easy as possible, that might help. But we cannot give you any guarantees of any sort. We cannot even tell you if he will reply.
No promises.
Promises. But if you don't try, nothing happens.
So one of the things I was looking for on the website, and Mary Lee, right now, I apologize, I can't find it quite at the moment. I know could be on one of our websites or one of the
check
Instagram, Facebook page about submissions if submissions are being taken now. So check the website, the Facebook page, and any of the other socials if they have information on if and when and how to submit to Silverline.
All right, that won't happen in the future, but right now it's he's Roland is not really looking for anything more than we already have.
Yeah, I don't
Looking.
It doesn't even look like they have contact information on here. So, yeah, I would. You're gonna have to go digging.
You're welcome. No worries. No worries. So, but yeah, Roland, our head honcho, he hosts the show on a Sunday. So you could always pop over on the Sunday show, introduce yourself.
That's a good idea.
And ask our head honcho himself.
Yep.
And Roland's listening and going, no.
Yeah, it got
Roland. We didn't say anything.
He's not going to turn down another viewer. Are you kidding?
And you know what, Roland is the kind of person that will tell you, the truth right then and there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Roland writing me back when I wrote him a letter on paper and mailed it with a stamp and everything in the early 90s, I wouldn't be here chatting with you all fine people today. So yeah, Mary Lee, pop on a Sunday, introduce yourself to Roland, and ask him. He'll let you know if it's
he's a good guy. Yeah.
So
if you have a kick butt idea, maybe it's worth a try.
If you can guarantee that it's going to land him millions in the bank, he'll do it. Absolutely, 100% do it. So, but you got to guarantee him that he's going to get that cash. So yeah. The other option is you go and buy the entire back catalog and tell him that you're his biggest fan and you know everything inside and out about his whole entire. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. Yeah. Also, another thing. Realize none of us are getting rich doing this.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing this. If you're expecting to make a lot of money on it, this may not be your thing.
Yeah. So Silverline
love doing it.
Yeah, Silverline is doing it because we love it. So
yeah,
please keep that in mind. It's not we're doing it for the love of comics, not for any other reason.
And the side benefit, though, you have to admit, Martin, is yes, the love of comics, the love of creation, but also the friendships and bonds and times that we've all spent together where we might not have ever interacted or ever met before.
Yeah. Well, and that's the core thing about Silverline. Silverline is a family comic. Company. It's very family based. So yeah. All right, gentlemen. I think we've kind of hit the mark on the top of the hour.
Time for us to take a tree and get out of here. All right, everybody.
I'm just gonna remind you guys. Here's our books. There's Cat and Mouse, Wolf Hunter, Sniper and Rook. And our Empress of Inks, who is not with us tonight, she did Divinity. Rob has done Twilight Grim. We've got books for kids, Blue Beetle, or Teen Beetle.
Has our Kickstarter ended?
The Ultimate Dad comic? I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm trying
Cape Down.
I knew it was coming up. What is it, White Devil?
Trumps.
R.A. Jones.
Oh, yes.
It's in the fundraiser.
We're no longer doing Kickstarter. We're now doing, what are we doing? We're doing Fund My Comic.
Fund My Comic, yeah.
I'm looking on our website or on our Facebook page.
I'm thinking
now.
If it hasn't ended, it's going to end very soon. So, yeah, anybody that's interested in helping.
As host tonight, I should have known that I suck. I apologize. Roland, I will take my 40 lashes. And I will share them with Martin and Rob, 20 each. So we should know. I should have known better. I apologize. Yeah, but please, please find out. Check out the websites and check out the Facebooks if we have an active one. And please back.
So, hang on. So White Devil is 3 days to go, and it has been funded. 209%. So.
If you're interested in jumping in and getting in on the base of this particular book, now's your time. It's funded. I don't know if they have any stretch goals or anything.
I don't know. Here's what's interesting. So 11 backers, and it's funded. So
yeah, they didn't ask for a lot of money for this one.
That could have been some original art.
Yeah. So
some are big bundles.
Yep. Some people dished it out for this one. So thank you so much, whoever did that. You guys You guys went to town for us. Thank you.
We have some great fans. We really
Yeah.
do. They've helped us fund every book that we put out. Has been funded in total with their support, and we thank each and every one of you for helping us fund all those books. It's great. So hang with us. There's more great stuff coming. Really.
Yep.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you to all of our fans out there. Thanks for joining us tonight. And as we always say, make mine Silverline.
Hi, I'm Chris Olm. I'm the former editor-in-chief of Malibu Comics. Make mine Silverline.